Good morning, dear students. Today we will going to discuss on our next topic, protoplasm. Students, we know more about protoplasm, their physical and chemical composition also. Now, first we have to know that what is protoplasm. The term protoplasm is also taken from the Greek word pro, as you know that means primitive or or first and sam means life. Thus, dear students, protoplasm is the substance in which life exists first. Now we will define the protoplasm as protoplasm is a very complex kind of biochemical substance in which the essence of whole life is exist. Protoplasm, we know more about protoplasm, how and when it was discovered, and what are the terms or phrases coined by various biologists about protoplasm. Next thing, students, we have to know that a brief history of protoplasm. It was firstly discovered by Dujardin in 1835. And he coined the term sarcode for it. What the term coined by Dujardin for the protoplasm first? Sarcode. Yes, students, is that clear? Dujardin was the first biologist who discovered the protoplasm, and he gave the term sarcode for it. Now, term protoplasm was coined by Purkinje. First, Purkinje gave the term protoplasm for this biological complex matter in which the essence of life exists in 1837. Now, Julian Huxley called it the physical basis of life. The physical basis of life. Julian Huxley called it the physical basis of life, in which it is the basic concept of biochemical substance in which life exists. This is the explanation of this phrase that was given by Julian Huxley. Now students, the explanation about the importance of protoplasm, the importance of protoplasm was given by Hugo van Mohl. Hugo van Mohl. Hugo van Mohl first described the importance of protoplasm in the organism or cell. He described it in 1846. Now here we know that what we know about the protoplasm. We know about the protoplasm. Protoplasm was first discovered by Dujardin in 1835, and he gave the term sarcode for it. And the term protoplasm was firstly coined by Purkinje in 1837. The physical basis of life was this phrase was given by Julian Huxley, and the explanation about the importance of protoplasm was given by Hugo van Mohl. It means Hugo van Mohl was the biologist who not only explained the importance of protoplasm, but he also defined its role in a living cell. Now, N.S. Cohen was the first microbiologist, who firstly studied about the chemical composition of protoplasm. In 1969, under a powerful electron microscope. Now, N.S. Cohen in 1969, he was a microbiologist who firstly studied about the chemical composition of protoplasm. Thus, students, now we are going to know the physical composition of, or you can say that physical nature of protoplasm. It means how we can examine about the physical condition of protoplasm. Protoplasm is a slightly viscous, somewhat translucent, clear, sol or gel-like structure, but it exists mainly in colloidal state, among which its the measurement of its component particles is between 0.01 micrometer to 0.1 micrometer. Such a solution is known as colloidal solution. Now we can say that protoplasm is a kind of fluid which is slightly viscous and can exist in sol and gel both state because it has reversible properties, but during more time it exists in colloidal state. If we pass the electricity or heating or reaction with any other chemical substances, then it react and its virtual nature can be examined during these processes. It means it changes its not only chemical composition but also the essence of living condition get ruptured. Now students, we know more about the chemical composition of protoplasm. According to NS Cohen, it is composed of following components. Composed of following components. What are these? Here I write the name of components and here I mention the part percentage. Carbohydrate, first we take water 90 plus minus 2%, it means 88 to 92% it contain water. Carbohydrate 1 plus minus 0.5%. Protein 5 plus minus 2%. Lipid also contain a very abundant amount of lipid, 2 plus minus 1%. Organic substances 1 plus minus 0.5%. Now RNA, ribose nucleic acid, about 0.7%. DNA, ribose nucleic acid 0.4%. Thus students, this is the chemical composition of protoplasm on the basis of fresh weight, because when we dissected a cell, it get dead. On the basis of fresh weight, N.S. Cohen in 1969 firstly determined the chemical composition of protoplasm. He explained the most amount of protoplasm is consist of water. Water contain 90 to 88 to 92% in protoplasm. Carbohydrate also in rich amount, about 0.5 to 1.5%. Here I write plus minus, higher to minimum. Protein also, rich amount of protein is present from 3 to 7%. 5 plus minus 2, it means 3 to 7%. Lipid 1 to 3%. Organic substances like varieties of other components like glycogen, amino acids, other organic acid, carboxylic acid, like many more kind of substances, about 0.5 to 1.5%. RNA, ribose nucleic acid, about 0.7%, and DNA, deoxyribose nucleic acid, 0.4%, comparatively less than the RNA. Students, the amount of RNA and DNA in this chemical composition is not according to N.S. Cohen. It is the recent study. It is on the basis of recent study of protoplasm. Thus, students, now the another question will be arises in your mind, where the protoplasm is located into the cell. Yeah, this is very interesting question, because we were studying about the cell, prokaryotic and eukaryotic plant as well as animal cell. But no anywhere I will label any kinds of substances in that diagrams as protoplasm. Students, it is very clear that the protoplasm is a very complex kind of chemical substances in which the essence of life exists. It means the mystery of life is exist in protoplasm. Now, here we know that cytoplasm and the nucleoplasm of nucleus. You can say that cytoplasm plus nucleoplasm of the nucleus combined to called protoplasm. Combined called protoplasm. It means the whole amount of flow present in a cell. Either it is cytoplasm or protoplasm. That cytoplasm or nucleoplasm of nucleus is known as protoplasm. Now students, here we will know about the cytoplasm. All the matrix except the nucleus, and all the cell organelles. All the cell organelles constitute the part of protoplasm which is bounded inside the cytoplasmic membrane. It means the cell membrane, the innermost membrane of a plant cell, either the only single unit membrane of the animal cell. Once again, we will define cytoplasm. All the matrix, all kinds of cell organelles except nucleus, which is bounded by the cytoplasmic membrane, constitute the cytoplasm. Now students, here we know more about cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is also a very clear, transparent, slightly viscous, containing simple acidic acids and bases, have a uniform phase of solution, and also exist in the form of cell or gel. The cytoplasm containing various types of membranous and non-membranous structures. Now here we will know about the cell organelles present in cytoplasm. Cell organelles. On the basis of presence of membrane and absence of membrane, the cell organelles are primarily classified into two categories. First, membranous, and the second is amembranous. Or non-membranous. Amembranous or non-membranous. Now here, on the basis of presence of single and double membrane, the membranous cell organelles are further classified into two groups. First, the single membranous, and the second one is double membranous. Now here, following cell organelles are there which are bounded by single unit membranous structure, are known as single membranous cell organelles, whereas the kind of cell organelles which are bounded by the two single unit membranous or two unit membranous structure are known as double membranous cell organelles. Now look at here the single membranous cell organelles which are bounded by single unit membranes. What are these? The endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi body, or you can say that Golgi complex, lysosome, spherosome, peroxisome, etc. You can also write here vacuoles. The spherosomes are found in animal cell, whereas in plant cell vacuoles are found. Now double membranous cell organelles. There are certain double membranous cell organelles are found in cytoplasm. These are, the first one is mitochondria, second is plastid, and the third one is nucleus. Now here we will know about the amembranous or non-membranous structure. It means these are the kind of cell organelles which are found in cytoplasm and do not have any kind of membranous cover or envelope over them. That's why they are known as amembranous or non-membranous cell organelles. What are they? Ribosomes, centrioles, and the last one is ribosomes, centrioles, and nucleolus. Nucleolus of the nucleus. Nucleolus of the nucleus also have no membrane. Now students, one thing is also present into the cytoplasm, that are called cytosol. Cytosols What are cytosols? Cytosols are microfilamentous or tubulous structures which provides a framework inside the cell and also helps in provide a definite location to the various cell organelles. It means it is just a net-like structure in which the whole cell organelles are embedded in a particular locations. There are mainly following types of components present in cytosol. These are microfilaments, microtubules, and glyoxysomes. Glyoxysomes. Thus, students, more about these cell organelles and their structures, their chemical composition, and about the nature, about their physical nature. We know about many more in the next lecture. Thanks, students. Thanks for joining today's class.